everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. Whether this is your first time clicking on one of my videos or a long-time lover, I am so happy that you are here. Today we're going to be talking about my progress in my Bits and Pieces project pan. This is a project that I created to help me sort of work through some of the bits in my collection, which are the very small sort of deluxe sample size items, as well as the pieces in my collection, which are things that are just on their last leg and I should not still have in my life. So I chose 50 items to work on with a tentative completion date. I'm doing this project because I am going to be moving. I and my husband are building a new home, and I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be done. So during these updates, I'm also updating you on the progress of that, and there's a ton of progress there. I've got a ton of progress here. My hair though, my hair is doing its own thing. When I went to go style it and dry it today, my bangs are having absolutely none of it. They are too long and they're unruly, but it has me kind of leaning. Are we team bangs or are we thinking maybe we're team no bangs? Please let me know down in the comments what you think, because I'm itching for a change. Whether it's a cut, whether it's a color, something, I'm just itching for a change. Okay, so let's talk about my progress. So as I mentioned, there are 50 products that I am working on. Let's start with my pieces category first because that was the smallest. And one of the things that I was working on was this right here. This is from Bath & Body Works. This is their shower gel in the fresh gardenia scent. I love gardenia. I love gardenia so much. I really enjoyed using this. There was almost like this much. I should have marked it. I totally didn't, but there was not much left in here, so I'm very happy to say that I did get that finished up, and now I'm back to using the body wash that I had been using. I have a very bad habit of getting close to finishing something and then buying something to replace it, but being so excited about the new thing that I stop using the thing that's almost done. So underneath my sink, I have way too many half-used products. So very glad that that got finished off with. Again, it's a scent that I really love, and it was a pleasure to use. I also finished off this guy right here. This is from Simple. This is their Water Boost Hydrating Gel Cream. I really enjoyed this a lot. This is a very nice, very easy, simple moisturizer. Cut it open, got it all out of there. As I said, I really enjoyed this. I used this as a daytime moisturizer. So when I got finished with all my skincare, this was kind of my final step before SPF. And it worked really well for that. It feels really nice on the skin. It sank in really nicely, and it offered a nice amount of hydration without being greasy. However, it doesn't offer me enough for a nighttime moisturizer. For those of you who are new, my skin type tends to be on the balanced to dry side. Previously, it had been very dry. In recent years, it's kind of leaning more towards the balanced side, but it sort of waxes and wanes. So that is definitely something that I would absolutely pick up again, especially if my skin was angry. This is a really great product to use if your skin is just over it and you need something that is no frills but still very effective. That is a great thing for that too. Okay, so the rest of what I have finished up is from my bits category, which again are just the teeny tiny items that are floating around in my collection. One such teeny tiny item is this right here. This is a foil sample of the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. This for me is enough for basically one body application. I love this stuff. I have a couple of other larger small sample sizes in my collection, and I was hoarding them because I knew that I would love them and that if I used them, I would fall in love with them and then want to buy the full size, which is more expensive than any body lotion, in my opinion, has any right to be, but it smells amazing. It smells so nice. This is one of those products that everybody hypes, and I personally feel like the hype is real. It sinks into the skin really nicely. It smells amazing. The scent lingers, so it is something that I can still smell on my skin at the end of the day, which I personally really like. Or if you are a nighttime bather and you put it on at night, then your sheets smell all wonderful and you wake up with that sort of scent around you. Beautiful. Love it. Eventually we'll probably buy the full size, but we're holding off. I also finished off this little trial size of the Amica Soul Food Nourishing Hair Mask. This got me 2 uses and I do quite like this. I've actually really liked a lot of the products that I've tried from Amica, and that one is one that when I find myself in a position where I'm looking to buy a new hair mask, that would absolutely be a contender. I really liked it. What I did not like quite as much is this right here. This is from Ava NYC. This is their Freshen Up Dry Shampoo. So the 2 issues that I had with this is that I don't feel like it did enough for my hair. It didn't soak up enough of the oil. I only wash my hair twice a week on average, so my hair doesn't get like super duper oily. I've had this sort of washing routine for the majority of my life, so my hair is totally fine with it. But there are definitely those days when I need a dry shampoo. This I didn't feel like really cut it for me, but also the white cast in here is not playing around. It is so hard to kind of work this into your hair, and, or at least in my experience, it was very difficult to work it into my hair and get it not looking like I was trying to cosplay Rogue. So not something that I would look to purchase. I did finish up one of these teeny tiny little bitty guys of the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. I have a few other sizes of this kicking around in my collection. It's fine. It's not my favorite by any means. It doesn't provide as much hydration as the name would imply, but it does have a little bit of a tackiness to it, so I do feel like it does grip onto my makeup a little bit, but there are just others that I prefer over it. I also finished off this little primer right here. This is from Cover FX. This is the Illuminating Primer. Again, this one was fine. I have other illuminating primers that I prefer over it, but it was fine, and I'm glad to have it used up. The third primer that I finished off was honestly a disappointment, and it's my fault. It is definitely my fault. There we go. Try to get the glare from the window gone. This is the Farsali Liquid Glass Primer. I was very obsessed with Farsali because of their marketing on Instagram. 100%. I saw so many people using these and dripping them on their face, and it just looked so beautiful and so much fun. I was the same with their setting spray, the Rose Gold Mist or whatever that's called that I'm working on in another project. I didn't like this. This made me so greasy, and I just it's not for me. So I'm honestly very glad that I only had a little small sample and I didn't purchase the full size, because I feel like that was in the realm of like $50-ish. Yeah, very much disappointed, but the reason I say it's my fault is because I put it on such a pedestal that it was bound to disappoint me. And I feel like that's something that I'm trying really hard to kind of rein in, is building things up in my mind, because no matter how good they are, they're probably not going to live up to the expectation that I have put onto them. So, all right, 2 more items. So we have from Lancome, this is the Advanced Genifique Serum. This I liked. I liked this quite a bit. I sometimes go back and forth when it comes to serums specifically, because they are so expensive and they have such high claims. And the problem that I have is a problem that I'm grateful to have, in the sense that I am still in the preventative phase when it comes to my skincare. Again, if you're new, I'm 40 years old, so I am extraordinarily blessed to still have my skin looking the way that it does. So I sometimes struggle when it comes to high-end skincare, because you can't see what it's doing when it's just preventative. I hope that makes sense. But this I really liked quite a bit, and I would definitely recommend purchasing a full size. I have so many different like trial sizes and other serums that I have in my collection. It's not something that I'm looking to purchase anytime soon, but it is a strong contender. And then the last thing that I finished up is this teeny weeny little tiny powder. Oh, let me see if I can pull the little sifter out. So this is all up there, all empty. So this was just a powder from why can't I say this word today? The Cover FX line. It's in translucent light. I have a full size of this and it was fine. It was fine. I decanted it into a larger empty powder container because this little thing would have been impossible to do anything but set underneath my eyes with. So I'm glad that I did that. It took me probably right around a month to use it up. I go through powder very slowly because I only use just a very small amount. Again, balanced to dry skin, so it doesn't take much, but it was fine. Is it my favorite powder? No. Am I dreading using up the full size? No. It was fine. It was fine. So that means that I have used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10 out of 50 items in this round. And where am I at for the whole of this project? Oh, 20 of 50. So have a little bit of a ways to go. Let's talk about the update of the house because that's much more fun. So as always, I will pop up some pictures that we've been taking over the course of this project. And it has been really, really fun because we've had some exciting progress. We're lucky enough to build the house that we're in now, so we're a little bit familiar with the process. That's been quite a while ago now. But I kind of equate it, and I was talking about this with my best friend, that when you're building a house, it's kind of like having two very large hills, right? And you're pushing a boulder up, a very round, symmetrical, beautiful boulder. But you take and you push and you push and you push and you push, and then you get to the very top of that first hill, and that's when they start doing things like laying the foundation, putting in the studs, putting on the roof, the windows, things like that. And then it kind of rolls down and you have to kind of push it back up. And that's when they're doing all the finishing stuff. I feel like the finishing portion takes just as long as the waiting for them to get started on the house because there's just so much detail work that goes into that. A lot of things that have to be purchased and things like that. So right now we have just come over that first hill. So the foundation has been laid. They've put up all of the walls. They've put in the windows. We have the bones of the house, and that is so freaking exciting. Like, we've been going out every weekend to show it to my oldest child, my son, he's 4, just to have him as kind of a part of this process and to have pictures to kind of look back on. And I can see Amazon is here. So if you hear my dogs freaking out, that is why. But it's been really, really fun getting to include him. In fact, he has this cute little tool belt that we purchased for him a couple of years ago because he likes to go around and fix things. So he insisted on wearing his little tool belt out to the construction site. It was the cutest thing ever. Oh, I loved it. But it's been a really fun experience getting to include him in this process. So we have our pre-drywall inspection coming up in a couple of days. So that's going to be really great. Go in, be able to walk around with the inspector that we've hired, as well as the inspector from the company that's building the house and the sort of lead build person on it, and just kind of look at everything and talk about that. So that's gonna be really exciting. We still don't have any sort of idea as to when the house will be completed. Supply chain shortages and things like that. So definitely, as long as things continue to go well, I'm kind of ballparking May, which would be really, really great. So hopefully we're on track for that, but it's been a fun process. It's been a really fun process, and I'm very excited to see kind of where things go from here because I don't know, it's a unique experience. I'm very grateful to be having it, and I can't wait to continue to show you additional pictures of the house because once they start doing all of the stuff on the inside and things like that, I was able to actually pick out, you know, a lot of the things that are going into the house, like the floors, the cabinetry, the colors, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. So very, very excited for that. And I'm enjoying this process, and I'm very grateful to be able to be having it. So that is my update. Once the house gets into kind of a more walkable sort of place, because right now it's a little treacherous. We're probably not supposed to be there when we go in there over the weekends, but once it gets to be a little bit more of a finished-ish process, I might try to actually take some footage instead of just pictures. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited to bring you guys along with this journey. If you have any questions about this process, definitely let me know. If there's anything that you want to see, please let me know, because I'm very happy to integrate that in here for you guys. And that is my update. So as always, everything that I'm working on, as well as everything that I'm wearing, is going to be linked in the description box below. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.